Pole Position, originally an arcade hit, made its way to the Atari 5200 in 1983, bringing its thrilling racing action to home consoles. This version of the game offers a solid port of the classic racing simulator, but with some key differences that make it both nostalgic and occasionally frustrating. The gameplay in Pole Position for the Atari 5200 retains much of the arcade version's core concept. However, before entering the main race, Pole Position requires players to first complete a qualifying lap. This lap has a time limit, and the better your time, the higher your position on the starting grid. This mechanic is crucial, because a lower position means you'll start the race farther back, which can make overtaking more difficult as you battle through the field of competitors. It adds an interesting layer of strategy, as players must balance speed with precision to achieve the best starting spot. The Atari 5200's controller plays a significant role in shaping the experience of Pole Position. The console's analog joystick offers the ability to make finer movements compared to a digital joystick, but this freedom can sometimes feel inconsistent. The sensitivity of the joystick is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, the ability to make small adjustments to the car's trajectory is great for tight corners. On the other hand, it can sometimes be overly sensitive, causing your car to veer off track unintentionally. The slightest overcorrection can send you spinning or crashing into other cars, especially in high-speed sections. The car's handling feels somewhat stiff, which can make navigating through turns a challenge. Compared to other racing games of the era, the controls are not as fluid or responsive, which can be a significant frustration for players who are accustomed to more polished racing experiences. This is exacerbated by the lack of a real brake mechanic. Players can only slow down by reducing their speed manually, often leading to crashes if they misjudge a turn. The layout of the track is designed with long straightaways followed by sharp curves, requiring quick reflexes and good control. However, with the less than ideal handling, players will often find themselves adjusting their approach to each corner after experiencing a few crashes. Mastering the turns is key, but it's a learning process that can take some time. Graphically, Pole Position on the Atari 5200 is a mixed bag. The car sprites are relatively simple, and the backgrounds, though functional, are rudimentary. However, considering the limitations of the hardware, the game does a decent job of conveying the high-speed racing feel. The track layout is clearly visible, and the sense of speed is effectively communicated through the scrolling background. For 1983, the graphics are acceptable, but they do pale in comparison to some of the other racing titles released around the same time. The lack of detailed textures or any sort of dynamic weather effects makes the game feel somewhat static. The sound design in Pole Position for the Atari 5200 is modest. The engine noise is repetitive, but conveys the feeling of a race car's roar. The music, though not particularly memorable, provides a light and unobtrusive background to the gameplay. It's functional, but not something that will stick with you long after the game is turned off. Pole Position offers a decent level of challenge, especially for players trying to master the controls. The qualifying lap mechanic adds an extra layer of difficulty, and the AI-controlled cars are capable of providing a solid challenge once you've learned the track. However, the relatively simple mechanics and lack of depth in terms of features may cause the game to lose its appeal after extended play. While it's fun in short bursts, it doesn't offer the same level of replayability as other racing titles, especially those with more engaging multiplayer modes. Pole Position for the Atari 5200 is a serviceable racing game that offers a taste of arcade fun on a home console. While it doesn't quite capture the full thrill of the arcade version due to its control issues and simple visuals, it's still a fun, nostalgic experience for fans of classic racing games. The game's difficulty and simple yet rewarding mechanics might make it appealing to racing enthusiasts and collectors who want a piece of gaming history. If you're a fan of retro racing games, or a completionist collecting for the Atari 5200, Pole Position is worth checking out. However, for players seeking a deeper, more immersive racing experience, it might feel a little too basic and stiff.